Hi there, I'm Rob Bertman, founder of Money with Impact, and this is 5-Minute Financial Fitness, where we get your money in shape in 5 minutes or less by giving you great tools, tactics, and strategies to help you improve your financial situation. And we do that in a way that you can easily understand, and we do it in 5 minutes or less. Now this week I want to answer a question that I get pretty often, and that's, hey Rob, I have some extra money. Should I invest it or should I pay back debt? Now this answer may surprise you, but it's essentially the same thing. Now let me give you an example to tell you what I mean. Okay, let's say that someone has $10,000 of student debt and they have a 7% interest rate on this student debt. That means that every year this debt costs them $700. They're paying out $700 of interest on this $10,000 of debt, right? Now this person, let's say they get an extra $10,000. Maybe they get a great bonus, or maybe they really crush it in sales and they get a monster commission check. Or maybe they generate an extra $10,000 from their business that they didn't realize was there that they were going to make. And they have two options. They can take that $10,000 and pay back that debt at 7%. Or maybe they found an investment opportunity that they could put that $10,000 into and earn 7%. Okay, so they could either earn the 7% or pay back the 7%. So let's say that they decide to invest the money and keep their student debt. Okay, so now they have this investment, and every year this investment is bringing in $700. They're earning $700 a year on this $10,000 investment. But they also still have this student loan at 7% also, and they're paying out $700 of interest every year on this debt. Now, if we were to mush that together, $700 comes in, $700 goes out, it's a net zero to that person. Okay, now let's take the second option. Let's say that they take the $10,000 and pay back their student debt with that. All right, so now they're no longer having to pay $700 out. So that $700 they were paying out in interest goes to zero. So again, it's a net zero. So whether they invested at 7% or paid off debt at 7%, they end up in the same spot. So another way to look at it is when someone pays off debt, that interest rate on that debt is essentially the same as an investment return, because it nets the same thing, right? So whether they bought an investment at 7% or paid off 7% debt, they end up in the same spot. So earning 7% is just like getting rid of paying somebody 7%. But let me tell you why, all things being equal, paying back debt is better. Because when you pay back debt, you get an immediate, risk-free, tax-free rate of return. Now let me tell you what I mean by that. Let's talk about immediate. Okay, when this person takes that $10,000 and pays off that $10,000 of debt at 7%, they no longer have to send that $700 of interest out. So they immediately get that 7% return. Now let's talk about risk-free, the second part. If someone were to invest at 7%, typically as we get up into the high single digits, 7, 8, 9, 10% and above, that carries some risk to get those kind of returns over time. And in order to get that return, we have to weather some volatility, the ups and downs of an investment. Some years it may be up 15%, some years it may be down 15%, some years it may earn zero or anywhere in between and even beyond those ranges. So we have to weather that storm and maybe end up at that 7% average return over time. But when we pay back that debt, we get that 7% back risk-free, right? Because again, the debt that we pay back, that interest rate is essentially like earning an investment return. It's the same thing. And we get that risk-free. Now let's talk about tax-free. Let's say that this person invests at $10,000 and they earn $700. Well, they have to pay taxes on that. And let's say that they pay $200 in taxes. So they end up netting $700 minus $200 is $500. They end up netting $500 after taxes. But if they were to pay back that debt, there's no taxes that they owe on that. They get an immediate, risk-free, tax-free 7% rate of return by paying back that debt. And then also think about it, if this were you in this situation, how great would it feel to take that $10,000 and rather than building up your nest egg $10,000, to just eliminate that debt, get rid of it altogether? How great would that feel? So by paying back debt, we get an immediate, risk-free, tax-free rate of return, and it also feels good to pay back debt. Right? Because again, all things being equal, if we were to pay back debt that we earn 5%, or if we were to invest in something that earns 5%, it's the same thing. If we were to invest in something that earns 10%, or pay back debt that we owe 10%. It's essentially the same thing. So all things being equal, I prefer to pay back debt. Now again, I don't know your exact financial situation, so you have to make the call that's best for you. But I prefer paying back debt, especially when it gets to that 5+% interest rate, because I'm getting that instant, risk-free, tax-free rate of return on my money. So thanks for joining me this week. I can't wait to talk to you and dive into another subject next week. If you have any questions, reach out to me. Let me know what else you'd like me to cover. I'd be happy to answer your questions. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you next week.